It's the last day of school. Is everybody excited? So today is the final day of the Premier League, and Man United has nothing to play for. Basically, we just managed to pass the grade, so we're not being held back. And yep, they're just sending us along with the rest of them, so we get to keep our friends. But we've been given a warning that if you don't shape up, you might not be there with them next year. So there's a lot to fix, and we need to take remedial classes over the summer so that we are prepared when we enter the next year. And that's Man United right now. It's scary hours. So and all you hear is good news and some bad and a lot of bad news. So hoping we have more good news than bad news, and then we take it from there. I mean, the most important news from today was mentioned by David Ornstein that Ruben has told the team that he's staying, and to have a manager come up and tell the team that he's staying, that means he's gotten assurances from the management that yeah, he is staying and that they are going to support him. And apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, he has told Garnacho in front of everybody that yeah, you can find another team, we don't need this. I'm saying that. So essentially, this is what I love. This is what I wanted all the time. That there's a manager, whoever it is, doesn't have to be Ruben, but as long as there's a manager who is the main leader in the room, and that stuff like this, especially from a 20-year-old, is not gonna fly. And I'm glad he's putting his foot down and he's making it clear. I mean, to come out and just tell him, yeah, you can leave. There was not even any kind of hey, let me talk to you in the background and let's patch things up, and hopefully I'll concede a little bit and you'll concede a little bit and we'll shake hands and let it go. No, he just said no, this is not going to work, and I'm just happy. And Ruben was actually go see his press conference, Ruben's press conference. I think they did it in two parts, but it's really good and it's really informative because it explains the plans for the summer and for the next year, and especially in recruiting. Because when somebody asked him about Alejandro, he said, "Yeah, we'll speak in private, and that's about it. Right now, we're focused on the next game." Essentially saying, "I'm going to kick him in the behind," because when another journalist asked him about Bruno, this is what he says: "Hey, I'm trying to explain to him that this is the process and this is what we're doing. This is how we're fixing everything. This is how we're changing training. This is how we're changing recovery and all this." So basically, he's trying to sell the process to Bruno. And for Alejandro, he said, "Yeah, you can leave." And because he realizes the importance of Bruno in this team, because as I've mentioned before, who are the leaders on this team? Who can you take the armband off Bruno and give it to? There are not that many people, and yes, sure, Harry had it before, but I don't think he's going to play every game. And who else? Casemiro is probably going to go, or I saw some news that yeah, he's probably going to finish off his contract. So I don't know. Maybe they be ruthless and sit him or put him on loan, but I think he wants to play because he wants to be in the Brazil team for the World Cup. So, and if he goes to Saudi, there's a chance that he might not be uh, picked for the World Cup. So let's see. So that's Bruno. They're practically begging Bruno, even though I'm neither here nor there with Bruno, because I think he's really valuable as a player, really valuable as a leader, but at the same time, there's a lot of money to be made, and especially money which can help you get good players uh, at a lower age range, because he's in his 30s now, and I don't know how I think he takes really good care of himself, so he should, and he's in his early 30s, so he should probably be there for a long time. But who knows, who knows? I mean, if you're getting paid a lot of money, and especially I think the Saudi clubs, Al Hilal, that's the club I think, is really desperate, because the Club World Cup is starting in summer and they need him, and so that's why they're trying to get this done quickly. And either way, I mean, this is a win-win situation, and we don't have many win-win situations at Man United. So, anything happens, I'll take it. I'm okay with anything. I'm glad. And with respect to Alejandro, don't go cheap. Um, Make sure somebody pays up, because if they don't pay up, then we'll use him, because he's a good player. Just that there might be some punishment which has to be given, but then just hold on to him. Don't go cheap. Oh, I need to sell him because he did this. No, no more selling for 35, 45, especially really talented players, because he is very talented, and there's a good chance that he will hit much higher heights than what he has at Man United. So that's one thing. And then there was this other news that Victor Lindelof, they've already spoken to him, and yeah, they have decided to part ways. Yeah, and that kind of makes sense. He doesn't play much. He's on his final year of his contract, so it's best to part ways. I mean, there's no way you can sell him, and there's no way you could use him. He wasn't even played in the final of the Europa League, because and they played Luke Shaw, even though Luke Shaw has played much lesser minutes than Victor. So that's about the number of people who are coming in and going in, especially right now. I hope to see a flurry, because there's rumors that as soon as the match gets over today, that they will announce Matthias Cunha's signing to calm the masses, so that people put their pitchforks down, because it's dicey times, because as you know, there's a protest, and I don't know what. I know the protest is outside the stadium, but I don't know if it's going to spill into the stadium, or are they going to come in late? Who knows? But the voices will be heard, and it might be tense, because you need a win. You've already told Alejandro, okay, you're not in the squad tomorrow, and so there might be some Alejandro stands out there who might think that, oh, why is he not playing him? And this team is a mess. The team is a mess. If you want some good news, I don't know, just wait for the summer, because tomorrow is bad vibes outside, probably bad vibes in the dugout, bad vibes in the dressing room, and hopefully average vibes on the pitch. And guess what happens after the match gets over? So Ruben is going to give a speech. He's going to give a speech, and this is where it's a little tough, because I think he has a plan. But just like any general who goes into battle, he's not going to come out and lay out his plan for everybody to see. So there's going to be a little bit of faith, which the fans have to show. And I don't know, but I just hope he realizes that there's not much leeway. So I'm curious, because all his interviews have been tailored to speak honestly, and he himself mentions it very often, that I speak honestly and I give you the truth, and he does. And unless it's some things which he cannot say, but he really means it, and he tries to skirt around the issue. So I'm just looking forward to the speech. I don't care about the game. I mean, I don't think we can win, but I don't think we can lose. So, I mean, that's a good dichotomy because we're not good enough to win, but we just can't lose. I mean, just imagine losing the last game of the season after the season you've had, and you don't even have. I mean, Tottenham can lose there and lose another game. Who cares? They just came off a parade. So I think it'll be a draw. That's my guess. I think, but oh yeah, Aston Villa is desperate for Champions League, so they need a win because Chelsea and Nottingham Forest are playing tomorrow, and I think they are all three on the same 66 points, if I'm remembering correctly. So I think Aston Villa will come out. Luckily, Marcus won't be playing, but they have attackers. We have Dudu, so that's all. So let's see how it goes. But as I had mentioned, I want you guys to go listen to his Ruben's press conference because it's good. I mean, he's made some great points, like yeah. So the main thing was he addressed the club at Carrington and told them that he won't be leaving. And by the way, I'm getting all these quotes from at United UTD district. So they have taken the quotes for Ruben's quotes and posted it on X. So, and see, this is the one. This is so nice. It's important for Bruno to see that we are changing a lot of things in our club. The behavior, the everyday organization, the pace of training, all these things. If he sees that we are doing that across all levels, he will want to stay. He loves this club. I think Bruno wants to say. I think he just wants to be convinced. And he's like, I don't think we can renegotiate his contract. We just can't. We already gave him a new one last summer, and he's older, and people are already upset, and you have players then coming and asking for more money after the season you've had. I don't think, and then you're trying to hold on to him. You're pleading with him. This is basically pleading. So to keep him, and he's got eyes at Saudi because of the so much money, and I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I hope he convinces him and tells him, hey, the World Cup's coming, just like every other player. Luke Shaw, Casemiro, everybody's trying to make the World Cup. By the way, Luke Shaw didn't make the England squad recently, so I think he's pissed, and so he's going to be healthy. Don't worry, he'll be healthy. And this is another one. So Ruben has confirmed that he'll make a speech at Old Trafford after the game tomorrow, and that the players will complete a lap of honor to applaud fans. We will do that. It's tradition, and we have to face it. I think it will be the biggest mistake if we don't do that. We will do that. No, yeah, you better do that because I think the fans need some closure. I mean, this is. I mean, there's unrest out there, so I think they have to speak. They have to calm them down, just by saying something. I know that the manager addresses the public. I will do that because it's the minimal. The least I can do is talk with the fans and to say what I want to say. What will you say? I will decide tomorrow. I have an idea, so we will do that because if there is a season that we need to do it, it's this one, and of course we will be there. Yeah, that's essentially. He has to come out and say something because just not saying something is like brushing it under the carpet and saying, hey, it's fine, it's a process, deal with it. Nobody's dealing with it. So, and this was the Alejandro thing. Guys, everything I have to say, I say it to the players. I did that in the past and I continue to do that. Let's focus on the next game. I think he's made up his mind, and that's what David Ornstein mentioned. So I think the player wants to leave. The manager doesn't want him there. He's not picking him. He doesn't like his attitude. He doesn't want to talk about it. And let's see. I think this is the question which keeps getting asked, and I think it's a good question because it kind of shifts blame away from the manager. And I know everybody wants to blame the manager, but like these, by asking this question over and over again, you're highlighting to the public, because it's like a speaker and it's being spread out to everybody that maybe it's not the manager's fault. Because I mean, let's say if it was solely a manager's fault, would he keep getting this question? And just look at his, listen to the question and his response. So Ruben Amarin asked if the problems at MUFC are bigger than he thought before joining, and he says yes. Thank you for asking the question. The checks in the mail. Yes, the problems for me are deeper than what I was thinking, because I can watch and I can feel it during trainings in Carrington or in all of our organization. It's not just the problems, but the instability in our club. Everybody's changing, all the departments are changing. We did that in 1 year. In 6 months, we are doing everything. So, of course, it's difficult. But I think we are getting some steps to improve things. You cannot see it. I understand that because the results are so poor. But we are in a better place now, that I can guarantee. Oh, he's ended it well, but you basically ended it with a promise. Yeah, it's better make. I mean, he has to start well. He has to start well. And the same thing can go for Ange Postecoglou. He has won a trophy. He has won a trophy. But even he cannot start badly. Such is the thing which is going to happen towards early August, September. I mean, everybody's eyes. He doesn't have any leeway. I mean, the leeway would be like if the Newcastle, I think the manager, I don't know. I heard he was sick and I don't know if he's back or. But anyway, if let's say they don't start well, I think they'll get some leeway. I think they're already in the Champions League, and all the other teams, even Nottingham Forest, they did better than expected, but the expectations are much higher, sir, for Man United. And I love this question. This is what I want to hear, because I've already told you that the problem at the top of the mountain, especially with regarding Man United, is the ownership and the management. But I try not to talk about that, and I know the protests today are about that, and go do the protests, hope some changes are made, hope it's drastic, but I mean, I just don't want to keep talking about it, because I don't know when those changes have happened. The Glazers have been here since 2005. These guys have been here since 2 years ago, and are they going to sell it to somebody? No. Are somebody with very deep pockets going to come in and pay much more than the asking price? No. I think this new ownership, Ineos and Glazers, actually want to see that stadium be built and be part of that whole stadium process, and getting the team into that stadium, making that extra amount of money through all the suites and expanded capacity. So, and the not refurbishment, whatever, the basically improving the surrounding areas. So I think they want to do that, and I think they want to be there when it's done. So I don't think they will just, unless it's stupid money. But I still don't think anybody is coming in with stupid money. Maybe Saudi has Newcastle, so I don't know. Maybe Qatar is going to make a joke about a jet, but Qatar jet, but I'll stay away from that. Okay, so this is the question. So Ruben Amrin asked if he believes that MUFC's recruitment is actually going to improve. Of course, I believe, and we're improving in those aspects. We are improving in the data that we want. Now, this is important because we recently hired or are planning to hire a data guy from an F1 team. I forget his name and I forget the team, F1 team, but yeah, Man United, I believe they never had a data team. So, okay, we have a rule that it's not just the manager that chooses. It has to be a connection. There is no player that comes here without my approval, but the opposite is the same. That is important for not just one manager to control everything. We are putting all these things to improve the recruitment. For me, the important thing in the recruitment is to know how we are going to play, and that is really clear. You can point the specific players you want for those positions, and we are doing that together. Okay, so this is what I had wanted. This is what I always wanted, that that the club have a sporting director who have set up player profiles, and then they find players, and then they show them to the manager and say, hey, do you like this? We think it's a good fit, and we have done the extra diligence, which is go speak to the janitor or go speak to his mother and all that, and find out if he has good character, and yeah, he's good. And then the manager says, oh yeah, I think let me watch his tape, because that's all they do, unless he probably gets on the phone with the player before they decide to pursue it and speaks to them. So that's what I want. Club, the whole machinery in the club, the recruiting machinery, decides on a player, brings it to him, and he has a veto power. So I don't like absolute veto on some players, because sometimes, I mean, there were so many things. Like I think Liverpool had, I think Klopp didn't want Salah, but Salah, one of those players initially, but the club insisted and they got him, and he played him, and now he's good. So I don't think the manager should have such a big say, but he should have some say, because ultimately you are asking him to manage the player. So there's some say, but yeah, it seems that both have a say, and but there is no player that comes here without my approval. I guess so. I don't like that too much. I mean, because we're just holding on to him. We don't know if he's going to be here for a long time. We're waiting for the start of the next season. So do you really want a manager to have so much sway? I mean, he doesn't have credit in the bank like Sir Alex or Jose Mourinho, or he basically has, he has some league titles, but I don't think you can give him everything. But I'm glad recruitment as a thing is, as a structure, is being worked on, because that's the main thing. And I hope both he and the recruitment team don't insist on just, we are Man United, let's purchase the best, because they're going to miss on a lot of players. So just hopefully this works out. And the proof is in the pudding. Let's look at the summer, because let's see. So personally, so Alejandro is going, Mason Mount is staying, Ahmad is staying. So you have two people, two tens. I'm not saying they're starters, but you have two tens. So you're getting Matthias Cunha, which is another 10. You need a striker, and so all the reports are Liam Delap, but he's the cheapest striker. He played for a relegation team. So are you going to go again with a 20-year-old or 21-year-old? No. So I need an established striker. I need a work in progress, which is Liam Delap. Then I need Matthias Cunha, which is an established 10. And then that's where you get with another 10. I don't know, that Franco Mastertuno, the 38 million pound guy from Argentina. I don't know if that's in the bag or not, but I think they were negotiating. So let's see. Again, 38 million for a 16 or 17-year-old. I don't know. I just don't know. Unless you're sure it's going to hit. Because how much did we spend on Lenny Yoro? And that was risky. He's been coming out of some games with leg problems. Hopefully he gets in the weight room and improves his strength. But that was a risk. That was a gamble. Hopefully he's probably going to cement a place, because I think he and Mazraoui will probably rotate on the right centre back position, and I don't think we'll go for defense this year. So anyway, let's see. Anyway, we have a lot of players to get. So in the starter, I mean in the front line, in the middle. So yeah, I think they would leave the. Okay, let's see where my shit. Where are my bookmarks? Yeah. Oh, another side news. Out of all the people we have sent out and who we are trying to get other clubs to buy, only Anthony seems to be sought after, because I think Marcus is going to come back. When I say come back, he's going to be come back to Manchester to his place. But they're trying to send him out, and Sancho is coming back. So, and there's the news on Real Betis are desperate to keep Anthony at the club next season and beyond, but can't afford the 40 million Manchester United want. Atletico Madrid have been monitoring Anthony's renaissance. Come on, Atletico Madrid, 40 million pounds. That's like massive amount of money. Shit, if we get that, man, we're cooking. I mean, we're cooking like ramen, but we're still cooking. So, oh, this is from at Samsi reports. Bruno Fernandes is not happy with the current atmosphere at MUFC, but still loves the club. Al Hilal want him and is mindful that he does not want to miss the chance to make so much money at a young age. But they need to do a lot to convince him. That's the final thing, because I think they're flashing a lot of money, and I think Bruno really wants to stay at Manchester United because the World Cup's coming. He actually I think there was another video by UEFA where they asked him who his role model was, and it was Ronaldo. And I think he wants to have that same, not exactly the same, but the same type of career where he both played for Sporting and now they're playing for Man United, and he wants to have success. And it's like asking him what he wants in the bottom of his heart and what his head is telling him to do. And that's why you can see it in Amaran's answer, where he's basically trying to make a case to Bruno. He's trying to sell it to Bruno. He's not going up to Bruno and saying, hey, give me, here's the ultimatum, make a decision and let me know, either going or not going. But they are trying to get him to stay. So. And I like this one. So Ruben Amaran asked if he regrets taking the MUFC job in mid-season. In this moment, I'm really glad that I arrived 6 months before we started the next season. We avoided a lot of mistakes that would have happened next season. We have avoided a lot of suffering. And that's the thing. So a lot of people are like, hey, why did we get him? Why did we get him in the mid-season? We should have gotten him after the season, and basically then he would have come in, he would have got the preseason and all that. First of all, you decided to fire Eric Ten Hag, and I think he was 12th at that time. Anyway, you decided. You gave him a new contract, and you lost a lot of money on that contract. Now he's going to Bayer Leverkusen. I don't know if that contract has an offset where if he signs for Bayern, Bayer Leverkusen, you don't get to pay as much in the buyout, but who knows? Anyway, not my money. So he leaves, and then what do you do? Just Ruud van Nistelrooy for the rest of the season? Yeah, I know Ruud went to Leicester City and he hasn't done well, and there's a good chance he would have done well here, MUFC, but the reason why he would have done well is because he would have changed. No, he would have played the same way that he did for those few games, which is basically sit back and use Marcus and the other speedsters like Alejandro on counter attack. So, and what would you have learned? Do you think we would have gotten Europe? Maybe. Okay, I'll give it. Let's say we got Conference League, 8th position. What does that tell you? That tells you nothing. If you had done that, At this point of time, assuming Rude had been manager for 6 or 7 months, you would have said, I think Marcus is finding his groove, and yeah, we should hold on to him. But instead, you found out everything about Marcus, his interview, and you have made a decision, and that's good. Decisions have to be made. The second one, striker, under Rude, if with all basically forward guys at the halfway line, I think that would have suited what's his name, Rasmus a lot, because that would have given him space to run, collect the ball, and have more shots instead of like receiving the ball with his back to goal and unable to turn or pivot and take a shot. That really didn't help him. I think he's just. I'm just curious what his height and weight are, because he looks too big, and that prevents like all those slight movements which you require a striker to. I mean, to turn and take a shot. Because I've never seen him doing that, because he moves like an 18-wheeler truck. So when an 18-wheeler truck tries to turn, it's like by the time he turns, I mean, those defenders are on him and they get to the ball. And so, but anyway, so by not keeping by getting Ruben in, that you need a better striker, and so you can have those conversations. And if you